For too long, politics in this country has been driven by grievance and guilt. Too many politicians have tried to build New Zealand up by tearing New Zealanders down, telling us we're either villains or victims, and that the only way forward is to pit one group against another. With ACT in government, that has changed. The corrosive idea that you're not responsible for the crimes you committed last week, yet are somehow to blame for what happened generations before you were born, is being stripped away. We're saying what you do and where you're going is important. Look forward, learn your past, but don't live in it. Take the new history curriculum. It will create citizens who know where they're from, but also understand the world across the seas. No longer will it indoctrinate young people for political purposes. History education will be for the benefit of children, not ideology. We've also ended the education culture wars. The scrapping of Section 127 means schools will no longer be legally required to give effect to the treaty in every subject. Boards will still be able to teach te reo, tikanga and matauranga Māori as they wish, but it should be the parent's choice, not Wellington's command. Education will once again be about achievement, not activism. And thanks to ACT's Dr. Parmjit Palmer's advocacy, students at the University of Auckland have finally won back their right to choose. Students will no longer be forced to take compulsory treaty papers that adds nothing to their degree. It's a victory for freedom, for fairness and common sense. We have proven that government can solve problems without dividing people by race and resentment. David Seymour's rule of two for medicines means fewer Kiwis will have to leave the country to get treatment easily available elsewhere or suffer because they can't afford to. Brooke Van Velden's fix to the Holidays Act succeeded where years of government failed, creating a system better for both workers and businesses, even welcomed by the unions. And we're cracking down on organised crime, Mr. Speaker, taking the money gangs made from meth and using it to fight meth addiction, stopping people from starting and starting people to stop. A welcome change from the dark days when Labour literally gave it all back to those who created the problem in the first place. ACT has also been vindicated on some of the big calls. When ACT alone opposed the 2016 Earthquake-Prone Buildings Act, we said it was emotion over evidence, a triumph of populism over reason. 9 years and billions of wasted dollars later, we were proven right. The law has now been fixed, saving billions, restoring confidence and breathing life back into our town centres. When ACT stood alone against the Zero Carbon Act and its unscientific methane targets, we did so because science matters more than symbolism. Now those targets have been halved and farmers can finally breathe again. ACT stood alone for licensed firearm owners, even when every other party in this House turned their back on them. Time and again, this House has responded to tragedy with virtue signals. ACT responds with reason, because what New Zealand needs most in times of crisis isn't emotion, it's calm, logic and courage. And inch by inch, we're seeing parties shift closer and closer to the positions ACT has always held. Just yesterday, I announced the complete rewrite of the Arms Act, the most significant win for licensed firearm owners in over 40 years, while also improving public safety. The reform delivers 90% of what I and firearm owners fought for: easier compliance, fewer dumb rules, faster licensing, trust and respect. I didn't get everything that I wanted. I fought hard on the registry and for a narrow sports exemption. But an MMP, if your partners won't agree, you just don't get everything across the line. What we have achieved is a law that restores fairness and common sense and lays a strong foundation for more progress in the future. And through the Regulatory Standards Bill, ACT is making sure every future law is tested for logic, for fairness and consequences. So never again will Kiwis pay the price for rushed, emotional lawmaking. We're making it easier to employ people, to build, to invest, and to live your own life on your own terms. And as other parties reluctantly shift towards ACT's long-held positions on regulation, education, farming, and I even dare say it, firearms, my message to them is simple. This is just the beginning.